All right, what's up, guys? If you're just now joining, just giving this a little bit for people to trickle in. So bear with me for a little bit. Also tweeting this out, which is another thing that I'm doing. Excuse me. So hope everybody's having a beautiful, what's this, Monday start to your week. Literally forgot. Can't believe I forgot it was Monday. All I'm doing, I'm just going to be hitting some profitable bets. I have some time to spare, so I am going to be hitting some bets. I'm literally just, as we currently speak, I am just tweeting this out. So if you just bear with me for 1 second, giving people the option to come join me. And then I'm going to log into all my sports books, and then we can get started. All right, so link is out. Now I am logging in to all of my sports books. And I never realized in the past I would log in when I was doing this, and then everybody would just like see my login info. And don't worry, I trust you guys, but I don't necessarily trust everybody that is going to be accessing this. So we'll stop. Someone send me an email. We'll stop doing that moving forward. That's for sure. All right, so I'm logged into the majority of books. And then we can get started. Sorry, I know this is taking forever, but I also try to give people some like time to trickle in, because sometimes like I just immediately get started and then everybody is like, what I miss? What happened? So this is also a way to give people time to trickle in. So killing two birds with one stone. And all right, I am officially, nope, not yet. All right, and I am officially logged in. So let me share my screen and we can get started. So literally just going to be refreshing the page, going, actually 1 second. Need to log in. I need to verify something. 1 second. All right, sorry. Okay, now I'm good. Logging in the DraftKings. All right, so yeah, literally just going to be refreshing the page and hitting some bets. So right off the bat, situations like this, there are like, what's this, 7 different plays. And let me zoom in actually, sorry. 7 different positive EV bets for alternate markets for the same exact play, Montana versus Idaho. There are a bunch of different philosophies of what to do in a situation like this. I'm also aware that the odds are going to change, because normally when there's a situation like this, when it's like, so it doesn't even matter. But let's pretend that these are all available. There's a couple different philosophies of what to do here. Like some people just hit every single one. Say, you know what? If every single bet here is positive EV, I'm going to hit every single one. And it's almost like a smaller, I'm trying to think of the wording here. It's like when we talk about positive EV betting, we talk about how it's important. The volume is better, right? More volume equals good. Well, this is kind of a smaller example of that, almost like a micro example of that, I think is the quantum realm example of that, for those of you who are familiar with Ant-Man, where yes, if this game goes over, you're screwed. You're going to miss out on a lot of bets. But more often than not, if they're all positive EV, then they'll work out in your favor. Or like, there's 7 different plays here. 5 of them will go under because you're getting them at alternate totals. So one strategy is just to take every single one. Another strategy is to take the one with the highest EV percent. So you just say, you know what, I'm just going to take one with the highest percent. That's going to be the one I take. Another option is to take the one with the tightest market width on the right here. So you would, looks like, take this one here. No, not one of those strategies is better than the other. It's not like this is the correct one. It's all dependent on your personal preference. Not everybody in the world is going to want to bet 7 different plays on the same exact total, just at alternate markets. But I don't blame those people in the slightest. So yeah, just personal preference is what it comes down to. So anyways, here's a play that actually locked in. I posted it on Twitter. It's still available. Texas Southern money line at plus 158 at Caesars. I locked this one in. I posted it on Twitter. The odds really haven't changed that much for whatever reason, so it's still available. So I definitely recommend locking this one in. I did here Texas Southern plus, where'd it go? Plus 158 odds. I put $75 on it. I will have to admit, I've been getting smoked on Caesars recently. Like if you just go through my settled bets, it's a lot of L's. Like here's one that won and then lost, one, lost, one, lost by one leg. Oh, this was so annoying. It was like a juicy parlay, lost by one leg. And it was like Timberwolves, man, lost. So anyways, haven't had great luck on Caesars, but that kind of happens with sports books. Like in the past, it was FanDuel where I had bad luck, and I've had like an insane string of success on FanDuel. Like I've been up like over $3,000 in the past couple months or weeks, specifically with FanDuel, which has just been incredible. So all right, here's a tennis play. Let me refresh, make sure that it is still available. So the play is Yaseline Bonaventure versus the Spina, whatever. First set, I don't even want to butcher these people's names. It's a good play, 3% edge that we're getting. Pretty big outlier to Pinnacle at like plus 160. FanDuel having this at plus 194. So I'm going to go ahead and search for this one, although I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste because that is a rough name to spell. So we're looking at 2-win first set, and the odds changed. So I unfortunately can't lock this one in. So let me give this page a refresh, and we're going to keep going. It's one thing that is kind of unfortunate. If you give me 1 second, my door is not closed. All right, sorry about that. I didn't realize my door of my office wasn't closed. You might hear some background noises that no one cares about. So let's just keep going. Here's one, Northern Colorado minus 7.5 plus 140 on DraftKings. This is great. This is awesome. Northern Colorado minus 7.5 plus 140. Just look at every other book. Pinnacle plus 119, Bet Rivers plus 123, like plus 116, plus 120. This is a no-brainer. Idaho State, we're looking at Northern Colorado. You can search here on DK, which is cool. This little social box, and it's an alternate line. So you want to view all bets, and it's minus 7.5 at plus 140. So game lines minus 7.5 plus 140, $75 is what I'd like to get. They will let me get 32.01 is what it is. So let me just add this one to my bet tracker, and we can keep going. So first bet that I actually have been able to lock in finally. Here's another tennis one. Pedro Sashin, money line at plus 172 at FanDuel. Great bet. Just look at FanDuel compared to every other book, 17 cents minimum lower. Don't need to think about that one too much. I'm going to go ahead and lock it in. Pedro Sashin, money line at plus 172. Going to put 3/4 of a unit on this one. And that's the wrong button. Come on, stupid Mac. And we are good to go. This one has been placed. So that is the second bet that we've locked in here. 2+ money plays, which is nice. It's not rocket science. If you're betting plays that are plus money, your win percentage can be lower and you can still be profitable. This one is another play that I've actually already locked in. Joel Embiid over 11.5 rebounds. I locked this one in. If you can see right here, Joel Embiid over 11.5. Another play that Caesars hasn't changed their odds on, so it's still available. It's still really good. So I would recommend hitting this one, Embiid over 11.5 rebounds. I've already added it, but just in case. Next up, another alternate spread on DraftKings. Looks like it's Florida State plus 5.5. Plus 116 Caesars, plus 120 Pinnacle. Looks good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in as well. North Carolina versus Florida State. You know, UNC has been incredibly disappointing this year. I say that as a UNC fan. Not that Florida State's been great, but I just think UNC's just been so bad all year. I have a tough time trusting them. Although they did just smoke UVA, which was good. So we're going to take Florida State plus 5.5. Plus 140 odds at DraftKings. Going to go ahead and lock this one in. Again, they let me get 32.01, which is fine. At least it's plus money, so the payout will be a little bit higher. So that's the third or fourth one that I've actually locked in. A couple that I locked in previously that are still available. This one, I don't understand what's wrong because maybe it's changed, but the odds aren't available for this game yet on FanDuel. I've searched for this one multiple times. So like if I type in Bayern, the game is from March 11th and it's not currently available. So I'm not sure where I'm guessing it's being pulled from like their back end software, specifically on FanDuel, but hasn't been updated on their front end yet. So unfortunately, these first two, I cannot lock in. But here's one, Max Domi over 2.5 shots on goal. This one's really good, -130, which that part's not ideal, but just look at like every other book, -160, -160, -160, -167. I need to actually log into that account. So let me unshare my screen for a second and I can answer Dr. Dre's question. Offshore books don't limit as heavy as the onshore books ones. So like if you're using like Bovada or MyBookie or whatever, they don't limit as frequently as like the DraftKings of the world do. So you could, and I'm logged in here, so I'm good. So you could use them to a little bit better success. But anyways, we're looking at Max Domi over 2.5, Blackhawks versus Ducks. So I need to go to Blackhawks versus Ducks. No, I want to go to player, not shots. -130. So I want to like risk to win roughly 75. So this one's good enough. 100 to win 76.92 is close enough. So that one has been locked in. If you have Bet365, it's really good. Max Domi over 3.5 shots on goal, -130 odds. Looks like there was an issue refreshing. Let me just give this page, or there's something going on. Let's try the arbitrage page, because arbitrage is another way to find profitable bets. And sometimes you can find some really good ones that won't show up on onshore books, or excuse me, on the positive EV page. So I'm assuming everybody watching this is aware. Arbitrage is just when like there's such a huge discrepancy between two sports books that you can bet both sides and guarantee profit. But in a scenario in which two sports books are that off, the most likely scenario here is that at least one of them, or let me rephrase this. If two sports books have it so you could place a bet on both of them and guarantee profit, one of them, if not both of them, has to be misaligned, right? Like one of them cannot, or they both cannot accurately represent the market if there's an arbitrage opportunity. So there are certain situations where there's an ARB on the page that's actually just giving you a good positive EV bet in and of itself. So like we can look up this, like this one's like arbitrage to Pinnacle, which is basically saying the other side of this is profitable. For like this one, I wouldn't touch because we don't have the other side of it. So this one I actually would not touch. We can look at this next one, Zach Hyman. Like I can't use Ballybet, but for those of you that can use Ballybet, this is a really, really good play. Like plus 200 odds at Ballybet, and look everywhere else. The closest one is plus 160. Everywhere else, plus 138, plus 122, plus 138, plus 145, plus 138, or plus 135, excuse me. Really good. So if you have Ballybet, I would probably put a half unit on Ballybet on Zach Hyman over 0.5 at plus 200 odds. This is really good. Over 0.5 goals. So just scores a goal. Next up, we have first period total goals. I actually think I already locked this one in. I did. I got it at -120. Looks like it's actually better odds for you. So you can get this at -115 now. But this is another good one. Like look at the -115 and compare it to every other book. So this one actually didn't show up because it's hidden, because I already locked this bet. So it shows up right here. It's hidden. But that's so that's why that's actually did show up on the positive EV page. But so if you have Bet365, Blackhawks versus Ducks, first period total over 1.5 is really, really good. Look at the -115 and compare that to every other sports book. The closest one is Bookmaker, 20 cents lower at -135. Pinnacle at -136. It's really good. So I would definitely hit this one. I think I put a unit and a half on it, which is rare, but it was such a good play. Next up, we're looking at Connor McDavid. So the play is So the better play here is actually on Ballybet, which again, I cannot use. But just look at like where it's compared, the plus 110 compared to every other book. Like sure, PointsBet's a little bit closer at plus 100, BetRivers at minus 103. But then we see like minus 126, minus 150, minus 120, minus 129. Like this is really, really good at plus 110. So I would definitely recommend taking this one. If you can use Ballybet, Connor McDavid over 0.5 goals, basically to score a goal, is quite good. And then next up we have, let's look at this one. Bruins versus Oilers, first period total goals. So looks like the better play here is definitely the Play Maverick side, which I'm not signed up for. It's a smaller book in Colorado. But if you're in Colorado and you can use Play Maverick, I would probably put 3/4 of a unit on Bruins versus Oilers first period under 1.5 because it's really good. Like the two closest books are 20 cents below. Every other book is in like the plus 120s down to plus 110. It's a really good price. Let's look at this one. Alcorn State team total under 69.5. So this would be a positive EV bet because it's an ARB Pinnacle and it's really good. I mean, we only have Pinnacle as a point of comparison, but it's such a good play to Pinnacle. Now, PointsBet doesn't let me get more than like $5 on plays like this, but I'll still lock it in just so we can all sweat it out together. But the Alcorn State team, wrong page, team total under 69.5 at plus 120 odds. That is really good. So this one I would definitely lock in. I would like to put 3/4 of a unit. They will probably limit me to like $2.50. But for those of you who are not limited on PointsBet, the lamest book out there, under 69.5, still let me get 416. It's very nice of them. But it's really good, the Alcorn State team total one. So we can keep going. Total corners I've had some mixed success with. It's like the odds are so juicy at plus 1 or 285 in this case that like they're not really in your favor. And they changed both ways. So I'm going to avoid that one because we don't know. Like in this case, none of these books, FanDuel or BetRivers, are considered like sharp. And they also odds change to match closer together. So that's a no-go. Here's a player shots on goal. This one's pretty good. Andreas Athanau show over 2.5 at plus 130. I'm going to look and see I'm going to remove the VIG from the rest of these books just to see where they're all priced. Like with the VIG removed, because I would basically want to make sure that like it's plus EV to the majority of sports books. So you just click view event page in a new tab, you remove the VIG, and I want to make sure that the plus 130 odds, which is the ones we're betting on DraftKings, is plus EV to the majority of sports books. And it looks like it's only plus EV to 3 FanDuel, BetOnline, and Pinnacle. It's not plus EV to BetRivers. Obviously not DraftKings, but not Bet. This one I'm going to avoid. Player props, I'm a little bit more selective just because the variance is higher with player props. So, if the majority of books, it's not beating the no VIG odds, then I'd probably avoid that. I'm going to give this page a refresh because it's been a little bit. And I'll go back to the plus EV page. And we can see what we're working with. And then I'll have a meeting in a couple minutes. So then I'll just go ahead and skedaddle on out of here. So these two are not real. Pistons team total under 13.5. Let's look at it. This one's good. Really good play. Definitely worth locking in. Let me go ahead and lock this one in. So we need to go to NBA. We need to go to Pistons. We need to go to Pistons team total under 113.5. Yes, at plus 105. I'm just going to put the max they'll allow me to bet, which is 35.71. Originally, if I wasn't limited, I would put, or they're going to take it away because that's really lame. Let's try again. Selection is no longer available. So these sports books are so lame. Like it's showing me that it's there, but whatever. So sorry we couldn't lock that one in. Let's look at this tennis one. The odds changed actually in our favor, even better. So definitely going to lock this one in. Potapova under 20.5 total games. Potapova. And I'm going to put a full unit on this one. So we need the under, and it's closed. That's the unfortunate reality of sports betting is they will close on you So we're going to lock in one more bet, and then I will go ahead and get on out of here. These markets are closed. Maybe the game spread is not. So Potapova -5.5. The odds changed. So, but again, in our favor. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can lock this one in. Total, we want alternatives. Game spread, we want -5.5. Holy crap, the odds changed like way in our favor. Definitely locking in this one. Not exactly sure what happened here, but like it went. So I got it at +155. I went from +125 to +140. But look at every other book. So I'm definitely going to lock this one in. I got it for 155. I put 3/4 of a unit on it. And that one was great. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but the odds changed like wildly in our favor. Now it's at +150 down to +130. Still take it. If you haven't locked it in yet, still take it at +130. Still plus EV to the majority of sports books. And I think the game props unfortunately changed. So if I can go, let's find out. So the game props are no longer available, unfortunately. But that one's still really good. So hopefully you guys were able to lock that in. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure to hit me up on Twitter, Jedi Modai. Make sure to check out OddsJam, obviously oddsjam.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, and that's it. So I appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one.